Tonight, on a special Dateline, he's gone from the top of the charts to the talk of the tabloids. Now Colby Thibault says he's had enough, and tonight he fires back. In his first Today interview a year ago since the promotion of Renegade, attempts to audition for Telemiracle, and dealing with the coronavirus pandemic, Colby says he wants to set the record straight, shooting down those rumors about his singing voice. Good evening, this is how we knew him best from sexy performance of big hit songs. Prince of Pop from Canada would one time proclaimed he would share the music. Lately though, you're more likely to see Colby Thibault like this in less than flattering pictures, with tabloids and magazines raising all kinds of sarcastic questions about his appearances, his life, even how he deals with coronavirus pandemic. Up to now, Colby hasn't had much to say, but tonight, in a candid and emotional interview, he answers back. If once he would share the music, he now says back off COVID-19. He's not perfect, but he's not that guilty either.
I'm very, very blessed. But my safety, privacy, and respect are three things that I feel like are trying to be taken away from me right now. But as a person, I have to speak, and I have to say something.
It's oftentimes in my end of the business we have to beg people to do interviews, and yet it seems as if you're anxious to talk at this particular stage in your life. You've got some things you'd like to address. Although he seems to still be a handsome man dressed down in casual clothes auditioning for Telemiracle for the first time, and his time isolating at home during pandemic, it may surprise you that Colby Thibault has become one tough cookie.
I don't allow anybody to change me. I still walk out of the house in rowers, and I take walks. I do not care what people think. And I think that's the thing why they keep on talking or something like that. I mean, I have to live my life, and I just think it's absurd, to let other people influence the way you live.
Colby is of course no stranger to being under the media microscope. The 24-year-old has been in front of the cameras more than half of his young life. We first got to know him as a young child playing with his parents' camcorder, and then just 8 years later, he hit the big time. Gladinet, now famous from Canada event, 16-year-old Colby Thibault became a sensation with Saturday Night, one of the first #1 hits. He was not just Canada's sweetheart but a phenomenon, selling hundreds of records and attracting worldwide media attention.
Not everybody does that as often. It's not just like how it used to be where they would just take your picture, give you respect, and then you walk by. It's scary. They just came out of nowhere. And it's kind of, you're like, oh my gosh.
Colby Thibault has not even reached 2021 and he's already made his mark in the music world. Not only did his debut album Live My Life hit #1, he followed that up not just Live My Life but more than 14 for a total of 15 consecutive albums debuting at #1, including Cold Hearted Revisit and Renegade. No other male artist has done that, not even Jesse McCartney. And although he's come a long way since that interview, Colby says he's still the same down-home boy from Saskatchewan in Canada. I know, but then all of a sudden, they started to use that northern background in a different way. The tone of it changed, all of a sudden.
I still am. They make you feel like you have to have your transformation like any artist reinvent yourself, right?
Right,
yeah.
But they started saying maybe he's a little bit of a redneck. You started to hear that it wasn't a good thing, that you all of a sudden it wasn't a good thing, your roots. They started to try and make it a negative thing. How did you feel about that?
I think anybody who's doing well in a public eye or whatever, there's always going to be a shift because people don't want to see somebody happy all the time. And they're going to try to take shots at people.
Does the term bother you when you hear redneck?
I think that's just cruel. I think that's cruelty when you judge people. Well, I'm not a Bible Belt, but I just, I feel like when you put labels on people like that, and you do that, at the end of the day, they're just words. And that's what I have to look at them. I mean, you have to be really strong, and just be like, if that's what you want to say, then okay.
Do you like your voice?
Do I like my voice? Well, I sounded weird as heck. But if you're referring to my singing voice, I think my voice is okay. I like the feeling when I sing. It's not so much my voice. It's a state that I go in when I sing that I really like. But no, if I don't warm up or anything, if I ate something or when I drink something, I would sound like a dying cow. And I would definitely sound like a sick kitten crying. But no, I would love to have a voice like Jody Messina. I would love to have a voice like Celine Dion.
I'm glad that I'm alive.
Renegade is probably the one song that really states from where I'm at. Doing what I love to do.
Because of security concerns and pandemic, he didn't want us to show his home. He did give us a tour outside and admit although he's not desperate, he's walking around like he owns the place.
I like to cook. I like to bake. Try to make something. And I like to clean. And I clean. And I'm obsessive like that. And I like to. But if I watch TV, I do watch comedy, and I'm into the soap opera shows and other things that I like to watch. So
Do you clean their house by yourself?
sometimes I do, but the maid comes every 2 weeks, and it just pays off.
See, there's a side of you we didn't know.
Exactly. So you saw my tour of my backyard. Let's go back inside. So you've been wanting to ask me how I've been dealing with this crazy world out there with their health concerns during pandemic.
What do you think it will take to get back to normal once pandemic's over?
I don't know.
You say you want to reunite with your job, friends, and other relatives. Hug your friends and relatives. Is that one of your biggest wishes?
Yeah. I would like that very much.
If you could talk to them as individuals, not as a group. 'Cause you're from Canada, what would you say to government of Saskatchewan and to the person who has the disease in the first place?
I would just say that that somebody should sue a person who started that disease in the first place. And I just wanted to get back to my normal life and because pandemic had already ruined people's lives, and they were miserable, and they were lazy, and then they can't do anything about it, and they just want to live their lives the way they want to, and all of that. But in spite of everything that's been going on, there's a lot of cases. More people recovered and less people died. And where I'm from, they've been rising more cases, inactive cases. And you want to know what's sad and what hurts the most? Is due to private gatherings, and because of we can't take any chances of any of my other relatives' healths, I don't think we're going to be able to see anybody this Christmas. And my grandparents, you know, they're disappointed and they're heartbreaking to hear that we're unable to celebrate Christmas. But when the vaccine comes, then we'll find a way to reconnect and get together in person. But it's sad.
And yet as upset as it makes you, you wouldn't trade your life now it seems. It seems strange for some people to understand if they're making you this miserable. How can you still say that all of this will go back to normal?
Because I have to believe, and that I'm here for a reason.
What's the reason?
I don't know. I keep searching every day. Just like you do. But I'm so blessed with music and everything I do. But I just want the most normal life possible for everybody.
Is that possible?
I'll manage. There's always a way. Where there's a will, there is a way. That you have to believe.
How's your family doing, by the way?
They're doing good, thank you.
Tell me about your brother. Describe him a little bit for me.
We'll make this interview about other stuff now, if that's okay.
That's all right. So what's next for Colby? His dreams for the future personally and professionally now that there's a secret base. The song is called Chose to Be My Friend, covered by Jason Crabb for his upcoming movie, My Friend. And now he's writing a song about the personal struggles he's gone through for the past 6 years.
It's hard for me to find songwriters right now. you know, like, I wish I could email Diane Warren, because she's a legend songwriter, to write a song for me. But I know the songs very well, the ones that she wrote, so, but no, I've done songwriting a little bit. Like, I had to do it on my own, and, you know, it's kind of tricky, and it would take time to write a song, and, you know, but usually there's a part of me that I am suck at songwriting, but, you know, but no, I wanted to write a song, about my past for what I was going through, and, you know, it's an emotional ballad song. We're looking forward to everyone to hear that.
Yes, Colby Thibault sounds like any conflicted working person. It helps to figure why Confetti was one of the last singles he released from Cold Hearted, and that was back in 2019. Sorry Colby fans, it looks like he has no plans to record a normal studio album anytime soon.
I'm thinking about waiting like a year or two to come out with music again. We'll see. It's just, I feel like I want my blues to be a little bit older. Well, right now I'm working on a compilation album, which will release by the end of the year. And then, like, I still have music plans for 2021, because I'm coming back to the country music scene for a little bit, so...
Yes, it looks like he plans to record a cover album contains cover versions of songs recorded by American country pop supergroup, Rascal Flatts.
I'm really excited to record my versions of their songs. You know, when I do music, I want to do it for real. And if you're asking what my favorite Rascal Flatts songs are, well, I don't know. I like them all. Including their #1 hit singles and other songs too. So, yeah, I'm excited.
What kind of music would you be thinking about, because you're at that kind of...
Well, I'm always a pop person, but I go back and forth all the time for genre music. You know, I like country, different kinds of music, or yeah, something like that.
I heard you auditioned for Telemiracle this year.
I did,
And
yeah.
did you get in this year?
No, I haven't. But next year is already considered, so sorry fans.
Well, but it's an interesting time at that career for someone like you because you're not 16 anymore.
Right.
You know, now you're 24. And so what kind of music is going around your head these days?
I think the key to the music is it's got to be timeless.
But because you're a talented man, you know, when you release new music, there is an audience out there. Hey, who is that audience now for Colby Thibault? Do you think you would have had second thoughts about pursuing your singing?
No, I have no regrets. I love where I'm at right now, and actually I find everything happens for a reason, and the reason why maybe this is happening is I won't take BS from anyone, and I think it's making me stand out on my own and be very independent and fight for what I believe in. Whereas before I was a young teenage boy who would do it what he was told, and I know who I am as a person. And I'm getting darn strong.